Hey everybody, this is Joel, the accidental retiree here on YouTube. Bienvenidos nuestro canal. Bienvenidos to another episode here in beautiful Buenos Mexico. It is Saturday, just got back from Pilates. It's 9:30 in the morning, having a great day. But one of the things that we love to do right now, as you've seen by our videos, is do a lot more travel. So I'm pretty stoked because I found what I think is probably one of the second best fares I've ever encountered for a business class flight from Mexico all the way to Europe. So I recently booked a heavily discounted business class fare, and I've used this travel hack many times. So I'm gonna get to this travel hack pretty quick in the video, so you're gonna wanna stick around to learn my little trick here. It's one of my favorite ways to actually fly to Europe, and it does not start in Canada and it doesn't start in the United States. It starts right here from Mexico, and I guess technically speaking Puerto Vallarta, but the flight itself starts in Mexico City. And once you see how this actual travel hack works, and what you get, all the little extras along the way, you're gonna understand why Jillian and I keep coming back to it time and time again. Now for us, this isn't like about chasing status or bringing in the front seats like the cool kids, or flying fancy just for the sake of it. And for us, this is super, super important. It's about designing a trip from start to finish, and it comes down to letting the actual experience start well before you land in Europe. I got my laptop here, gonna bring up a little screen share, and I'm gonna share with you guys the actual numbers. Like, this is a trip that I literally just booked the other day. So my very first search was out of Mexico City, Istanbul, kind of in the dates that we were looking for. Okay, we're gonna go for 3 weeks. So the best and cheapest business class fare, so a discounted business class fare with Turkish Airlines for that exact route, Mexico City, Istanbul, Mexico City, was 71,930 pesos, around 4,100 US dollars return. Not bad, but not screaming deal. Here's the actual travel hack that I'm gonna share with you and how it works. And it works in Mexico City, can also work in some other cities as well. And I got a bonus city for you guys, so you're gonna wanna stick around and hear about that. And it's for my Canadian friends. Turkish Airlines is a hub-based airline, with Istanbul being the hub. So 9 times out of 10, you're always gonna save money flying through Istanbul, using it as a hub, versus flying to and from Istanbul. And here is a real life example that I actually booked. Okay, same dates and long haul flights as my 4,100 US dollar trip. However, we're gonna add Catania, Sicily to the itinerary and use Istanbul as our stopover and essentially our hub. So let's see what actually happens to the price. Bang, we're at just over 52,000 pesos per ticket, which is around 3,000 US dollars. Round trip in business class with a stopover in Istanbul and onward flight to another city in Europe. The interesting thing is, this isn't just a unicorn deal. It just didn't pop up. These are things that you can find if you are diligent checking out different flight options. And Mexico City is one of the most consistent where you can get a very highly discounted business class fare by using Istanbul as a stopover and then choosing another country destination as your onward flight. Now, here is where it gets interesting. You're gonna wanna hear about some of the actual perks. I'm gonna share that with you next. But first, before I get into that, this video is brought to you by the accidental retiree.app. That's our travel app where you can win up to 150,000 Turkish airline miles. But what's 150,000 Turkish airline miles worth? Let me give you a real life example. Jillian and I are also going this spring to visit her brother in Shanghai, China. I used 130,000 points per ticket, and we flew from Mexico City to Istanbul, Istanbul to Shanghai, all in business class for 130,000 points. I put the same itinerary into the system, and it came out to just over 6,000 US dollars for the exact same ticket. We're giving away 150,000 miles simply by playing our interactive travel game. All you gotta do is watch our videos, and I give riddles in the videos, just having a little bit of fun, solve the riddles. Once you get to the last stage, you're gonna be competing against everyone for the big prize. Anyways, let's move on to the next stage of this video. What are some of those amazing perks that Turkish Airlines gives? Let's get into it. So Turkish Airlines offers a really unique stopover option, essentially free hotel stays. So Jillian and I are going to spend a few days in Istanbul. 2 of our nights will be courtesy of Turkish Airlines in a 5-star hotel. We don't have to pay anything. That's all built into our ticket price. Same route, same airline, same business class ticket. This is just a perk. All right, now before I get into what you're going to get from Turkish Airlines in the air, and that is one of the main reasons why we're booking business class in the first place, I wanted to give you my other reason for using Mexico City as the departure point. Now, while you don't have to have a stop in Mexico, I honestly feel if you don't add a couple days in Mexico City, you're selling the entire experience short. And for us, it's just very, very simple. Hitting the Mexico food scene, doing walks through the park, checking out some of the museums, looking at the culture, just like breathing it all in. The food scene in Mexico City has really just exploded since COVID, and it's just one of the most amazing places on earth to just settle in, take in all the culture, take in all the food, and just kind of get in that mode a couple days before you leave. So what it really comes down to for us, Mexico City isn't a layover or a stopover. It is our first reward. All right, guys, so let's get into Turkish Airlines and what to expect on the plane. We've flown with Turkish Airlines now many, many times. It is becoming quickly our favorite airline in the world for many reasons. An amazing job with their content, so you can go to the Turkish Airlines YouTube page and check out a lot of their videos, and it shows you exactly what you're getting in business class and what that experience is going to look like. So if you're going to sit in a seat for 16 hours, Turkish Airlines, make sure it doesn't feel at all like punishment. They got the food program, they got their chef on board, they have an amazing menu to choose from. Actual plating of the food, their fresh bread baskets. And one of the reasons I keep coming back to Turkish is the onboard experience. The food for Turkish Airlines matters, and it matters to the customers. The timing matters, and it changes how your body feels when you land. The Turkish Airline wine menu is another thing that we love. Really, really good selection and highlighting Turkish wines. The business class seat in Turkish Airlines is full lay down flat, depending on the plane that you're on, but the one we're leaving from Mexico City to Istanbul is a 1-2 configuration and very, very private. A little pro tip if you're flying as a couple, and I'm just gonna bring this up right now, is you wanna snag what they call the honeymoon suite. You can see that the seats are staggered, whereas the honeymoon seat is staggered where they're joined basically at the hip. So that's my pro tip if you're traveling as a couple. So at the end of the day, this is one of the few airlines where I consistently land feeling human. Now, if you want to see more videos where we fly on Turkish Airlines, planes, and routes, you got to check out our 6 continents challenge, where Jillian and I flew to 6 continents in 20 days. It was crazy. We flew around the world 1.6 times. That's what it worked out to be. And while you're at it again, go to the accidentalretiree.app and you can start playing our game and take your chance to win 150,000 Turkish Airline miles. And of course, there's no purchase required. This is just to get you more engaged in our content. All right, when you arrive in Istanbul, pretty easy peasy, clearing customs. But in our case, we're gonna be arriving, we're gonna be traveling, we're gonna be coming back, and then we're gonna be going on to our next destination. All right, so now we are in Istanbul. What are we gonna do? This is our 5th time visiting the city, or this will be our 5th time visiting the city, and it never grows old. And if you've never been to Istanbul and you're using it as the hub, you definitely have to have the stopover. I suggest a minimum of 3 days. So let's check out a little bit of Jillian and I's past experience. You can get a flavor of what to expect in Istanbul. First thing I suggest is just get out there and explore. Walk, like the same thing we like to do in Mexico City, is like just take in the culture. Go walk past the Hagia Sophia. You can go check out the Blue Mosque. One of the most popular things are the ice cream guys. Those guys are a hoot. Try to buy an ice cream from one of them and see if you can actually collect your cone, or they're gonna keep you, grabbing after it for hours. Don't complicate your Istanbul trip. Eat somewhere simple, eat somewhere local, not where the influencers eat. Just kind of keep it real, just let your Istanbul vacation unfold. Now, using the Turkish Airlines in Istanbul as a hub in business class comes with some other amazing privileges, and that is the Turkish Airlines Lounge. This isn't a holding pen, it's a world-class destination in of itself. Pre-Catania, before flying to Catania, we're going to be enjoying real food, space to breathe, and a calm and relaxing environment. You actually want to be there. So before flying to Catania, we're gonna definitely be spending a few hours in the Turkish Airlines lounge. Allows us to enjoy some real food, have some nice space, and relax before our flight. It's a place where you actually want to be. They have showers, they have a coffee program, they have seating, and another cool travel hack, if you stage your connecting flights between 4 and 9 hours and you're in business class, they actually have hotel rooms inside the lounge where you get to book for free. But again, your stopover has to be between a minimum of 4 hours and a maximum of 9. So consider that when making your connecting bookings. So at the end of the day, I love getting on my next flight after I had that pre-takeoff experience. For the longer flights, maybe I had a shower. I'm just like ready to go to the next step. So if I was to sum it up, some lounges like the Air Canada lounge just help you kill time. This one makes you forget that you're actually traveling. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next video. Nos vemos. Hasta luego and adios desde Bucerias, Mexico. Looking forward to the next trip to Istanbul and Catania, Italy. Adios.